Hi, today we're going to be looking at some multi-step equations and correcting the mistakes that are in them. So first we'll start with our bell work. We need to solve this equation. And we can start by subtracting 3 on both sides. Now a little tricky. Negative 18 minus 3 is actually negative 21. So I don't have space to write it like down below where I would prefer, so I'll write it next to it. I now have x over 6 equals negative 21. Now I have divided by 6. The opposite of dividing by 6 is multiplying by 6 on both sides of the equal sign. So x equals whatever that is, negative 21 times 6. What is one mistake someone might make when solving question 1? Well, I can think of a few. One might be they don't notice the negative and they just do 18 minus 3 is 15. Another might be they see this divide and think it means we have to do negative 21 or 15, whichever, if they made a mistake, divided by 6 instead of multiplying by 6. There are a few various mistakes that people could accidentally make. Today we're solving multi-step equations. This is a reminder of solving them from a few days ago. Simplify each side, so simplify this side, simplify this side, so simplify the left and right side individually. Then, if there's a variable on both sides, choose one of them to get rid of. I like to choose the smaller variable. That's not a rule. It's just something I have noticed helps me solve. Then once you've done all that, you should have a two-step equation and you just solve it like a two-step equation. Okay, so there's going to be some notebook stuff that if you want to go look in your notebook to see what it looks like this. It's 2 pages and it's horizontal instead of vertical, like we would normally hold it. And it shows a bunch of questions that all have mistakes on them. And the task is to figure out what is the mistake and then correctly solve it. And if you want to see all these correct answers, you just go onto Canvas and open up the notebook on Canvas and it has all of the answers for you there. Okay, then we did some just more practicing solving so we can combine some like terms. A positive 5v plus 2v. We now have negative 12 equals 2 plus 7v. And then it's just a two-step equation. Subtract 2 on both sides gives us negative 14 equals 7v. Divide by 7 on both sides to get negative 2. Okay, combining some like terms. This one's cool because we have a positive 3 and a negative 3, or a plus 3 and a minus 3, which means plus 3 minus 3 is 0. So then we're done because that was the only thing with the x. So x is negative 6. Okay, a little tricky because we've got the parentheses. That means to distribute or multiply. 3 times negative 6 is negative 18, and we have to have the n attached to it. And then 3 times a minus 5 is a minus 15. We have to pay attention to the sign. And now it's just a two-step equation. Add 15 to both sides of the equation, and then divide by negative 18. Whoa, okay, we're going to distribute 6 times 6v is 36v. And then 6 times a plus 6 is plus 36. Then this minus 5 is not in the parentheses, so I do not write I don't multiply 6 times 5, I just leave it as a minus 5. Equals 1 plus 6v. Now let's combine some like terms. I can combine a positive 6 minus 5. So now I have 36v plus 31 equals 1 plus 6v. Now there's a v on both sides, so we choose one to get rid of. I always choose to get rid of the smaller one. That's just something I like to do. So 6 is smaller than 36. The opposite of a plus 6v is a minus 6v on both sides of the equal sign. And now we have that 30v plus 31 equals 1. Subtract 31 on both sides will give us a negative 30 over here. And it'll be negative 30 divided by positive 30 is negative 1. That is a tricky question. Man, we got a few tricky ones in here. Nothing simplifies on this side. Negative 16 plus 5n equals negative 7 times negative 6. A negative times a negative is a positive. 7 times 6 is 42, I think. And then a negative 7 times a plus 8n. That's going to be a negative times a positive is a negative, or minus 56n. And then I just have plus 3 hanging out there at the end because it's not in the parentheses, so I do not multiply it. We can combine some like terms. That's a positive 42 and a positive 3. So we can make that a positive 45 minus 56n. And we've got negative 16 plus 5n. Now this one, minus 56, is smaller than positive 5. So I'm going to choose to get rid of the minus 56. The opposite of a minus 56 is plus 56n. On both sides of the equal sign. Negative 16 plus, what is that, 61n equals 45. Add 16 to both sides of the equal sign. It looks like it probably gives us 61. Then divide by 61 and n equals 1. Then some homework time. And only one question. What is a common mistake you have noticed that you made today while solving equations? Maybe it was negatives, or maybe it was parentheses, maybe it was combining like terms. There's lots of different places that people make mistakes. So it's important for you to notice where you make mistakes so you can stop making those mistakes. That was correcting mistakes on multi-step equations. You got this. Have a great day.